Today we're going to discuss veterans benefits here in Oregon. These special benefits can be utilized by people who serve our country. Not only the veteran enjoy the benefits, but also their family. Things such as state employment preferences, education and tuition assistance, vehicle tags, Oregon Parks and Recreation Pass, and special services for veterans, as well as hunting and fishing licenses and privileges. Oregon really cares about its veterans, and Bend and Central Oregon has a lot of resources to help. And we're going to get after that right now. If this is your first time to the channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button below, tap that bell for notifications, and we'll make sure to keep you up to date on all the current happenings in and around Bend, Oregon. My name is Joshua Grossman. I'm the leader of the Grossman Home Team at eXp Realty. We get calls, texts, Zoom, requests, and emails every day from people like you, and you, looking to make their move to Bend, Oregon, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, go ahead and pick up that phone, send us a text message, shoot us an email, or even sign up for a free Zoom consultation, and we'll make sure to make your move to Bend as smooth as possible. So as I mentioned before, let's get into veterans benefits and the state of Oregon. We're going to start right with wages and taxes. What are my Oregon military and Oregon veterans state wage and tax benefits? Oregon military pay adjusted gross income or AGI subtractions are: Oregon offers the following AGI subtractions for military pay received by resident service members. Military pay earned by resident service members stationed outside Oregon is not taxed. Military pay earned by National Guard and U.S. Armed Forces Reserve Services members assigned away from home for 21 days or more is not taxed. Any remaining taxable military income after taking the above subtractions is eligible for up to a $6,000 subtraction. Note, the military pay or allowances are not included in federal AGI and are not taxed by Oregon. Oregon non-resident military spouse tax exemption. Non-resident military spouses do not have to pay Oregon income tax for wages earned in Oregon. Who is eligible for the Oregon non-resident military spouse tax exemption? To be eligible, non-resident military spouses must meet the following requirements. Service members are in Oregon to comply with military orders. Military spouse and service members are both residents of another state or territory. Military spouses must still file income taxes in their state or territory of residence if required. Oregon taxes on military disability requirement pay. Military disability retirement pay received as a pension, annuity, or similar allowance for personal injury or sickness resulting from active service in the U.S. Armed Forces should not be included in taxable income. Oregon also offers the following: disability compensation and pension payments for disabilities paid to veterans or their families. Grants for homes designed for wheelchair living. Grants for motor vehicles for veterans who lost their sight or the use of limbs. And we offer so much more. Please reach out for more. Of course, I'm not a CPA, but I do know some very good ones. Let me know if you want to connect to see what benefits you may qualify for. This is just a general overview of some things you may qualify in Oregon as a veteran. We also have Oregon resident tuition and fees for non-resident service members and their families. Service members serving in an active or reserve component of the U.S. Armed Forces, their spouses and dependent children are considered Oregon residents for tuition purposes if they meet one of the following conditions: live in Oregon while assigned to a duty station in Oregon, Oregon resident at the time they entered the U.S. Armed Forces until they take steps to change their state of residence, Oregon resident service member assigned outside Oregon who returns to Oregon within 6 months of their discharge. Service members who continue to live in Oregon after separation from the U.S. Armed Forces may count their time spent in Oregon to meet residency requirements. Another benefit that we're going to talk about is the employment benefits of the veterans. By the time they retire, some veterans tend to live a normal life by looking for employment. We're talking about state employment for a civil service position. Eligible veterans are entitled to a higher maximum salary. Who is eligible for Oregon Veterans Preference or State Employment? Veterans who served on active duty in the U.S. Armed Forces and received an honorable discharge must meet one of the following requirements to be eligible: serve more than 90 consecutive days beginning on or before July 31st, 1955, or served more than 178 consecutive days or less than 178 days and has a service-connected disability rating from the VA, or served at least 1 day in a combat zone, or received a combat or campaign ribbon or an expeditionary medal for the U.S. Armed Forces, or received a non-service connected disability pension from the VA. To qualify as a disabled veteran, applicants must meet one of the following requirements: was discharged or released from active duty in the U.S. Armed Forces for a service-connected injury or illness, or has a service-connected disability rating from the VA, or was awarded a Purple Heart. Well, Josh, what if I want to get an education and I'm a veteran? Well, Oregon has benefits for that. It's called ODVA, and it provides tuition assistance at Oregon post-secondary institutions for Oregon National Guard service members. ODVA provides funding for in-state resident tuition rates for Oregon's community colleges up to 90 quarter credits, public universities, and post-secondary institutions, and the Oregon Health Sciences University for up to 180 credits. Tuition is funded up to the average of the in-state resident tuition rate at the 7 Oregon public universities. ODVA also provides a book allowance up to $1,000 per academic year and will pay certain fees up to the following amounts: Oregon Community Colleges, $361 per term. Oregon Public University Housing, $716 per term. Other private colleges, $526 per term and $325 per quarter term. To be eligible, service members must meet the following requirements: completed military basic training, Oregon National Guard service members in good standing and not currently subject to adverse actions, currently drilling and attending all scheduled unit training assemblies and annual training periods, does not have a bachelor's degree or higher already, not in default on any federal loans, maintain a cumulative GPA of 2.0 or higher, and demonstrate satisfactory academic progress. Veterans receive special driver and motor vehicle services benefits. These offer veterans a designation for driver's licenses, instruction permits, and ID cards. There is no additional fee for veteran designations. Who is eligible for veteran designations on an Oregon driver's license or ID card? Veterans must have received an honorable discharge to meet one of the following requirements to be eligible: served more than 90 consecutive days on or before July 1st, 1955, served more than 178 consecutive days or less than 178 days, and have a service-connected disability, served at least 1 day in a combat zone, received a combat or campaign ribbon or an expeditionary medal for service in the U.S. Armed Forces, or received a non-service connected disability pension from the VA. There are 6 plates available for veterans, such as the Oregon Veteran Recognition License Plate, the Oregon Disabled Veteran License Plate. The Oregon Department of Transportation has an application for all of these different plates available. They have a Purple Heart license plate, an Oregon Gold Star license plate, an Oregon Medal of Honor license plate. So just some of the things we do to appreciate your service. Well, Josh, I'm a hunter. I like to fish. How do I qualify? Disabled veterans who have been an Oregon resident for at least 6 months prior to an application and have a disability rating of 25% or more are eligible. When you apply, you must submit a completed application and a letter from the VA or any branch of the U.S. Armed Forces showing an overall disability rating of 25% or more. Aside from hunting, veterans are also eligible for benefits for fishing activities, wildlife and recreation parks. Oregon resident disabled veterans who have a 65% or more disability rating are also eligible. They are also entitled to reduced price hunting licenses and all of that sort of thing. You can go camping for cheaper, RV sites, standard horse campsites, free parking, and day use fee parks. The benefit does not cover yurts, cabins, special park facilities if those are your taste, but it is way cheaper to do all of those things that you want to. One of my favorite benefits is the ODVA home loan program. Veterans are offered a fixed financing rate for owner-occupied single-family residences, up to the Fannie Mae limit, available for purchase only, no refinancing is available, so you have to be living in this house and buying it, up to 4 home loans, maximum lifetime benefit, so you can only have 4 of them. How do you qualify for this benefit? Well, the veteran must serve more than 90 consecutive days beginning on or before January 31st, 1955. You can probably see a theme here. Serve more than 178 consecutive days or less than 178 and have a service-connected disability from the VA, or served in a combat zone. Received a combat or campaign ribbon or an expeditionary medal for the service in the U.S. Armed Forces. Receives a non-service connected disability pension from the VA. If you have any of those, then the ODVA loan is absolutely amazing for you. That pretty much sums up our benefits for our fellow veterans. If you are a veteran or planning to move to Bend, Oregon or the surrounding area, I hope you find this information useful. We give a high importance to people who serve our country and risk their lives, and this is our way of giving back to them here in Oregon. Feel free to reach out for a complete list of veterans benefits providers in Central Oregon, and we'll post a few names and contacts here in this video for you to reach out on your own. We hope to see you around town soon.